In this video, I'll cover setting strategic goals, choosing metrics to measure success, and how to monitor your progress. Then at the end, I'll share some questions that can help you choose your key performance indicators or KPIs. Sound good? All right, let's get into it. Reports help you understand the effectiveness of your marketing. But before you analyze any data, it's important to think about your goals and objectives. Goals are the ultimate outcome that you want to achieve. Things like increased loyalty, donations, or sales. These tend to be long-term aims. Objectives are the milestones that show you're on the right track. I'll say a year from now, I want to improve engagement with my emails. Well, as an objective, I can aim to improve open rates by 5% in the next quarter. You get what I mean? It's fine for goals to be reasonably open-ended, like improve customer retention. But it's a good idea to make your objectives as specific as you can. The more precise, the better you're able to strategize ways to meet them. You don't have to do this alone. It's good to keep your team involved as early as you can. They can help you figure out what's attainable and point out potential risks. A lot is going to come up during these conversations, including questions on how you'll measure your progress. Let's have a chat about some metrics that you might find useful. I like to think of these in categories like engagement, delivery, and e-commerce. You can use engagement metrics to learn how contacts interact with your emails. I'll start by touching on open rate. This can tell how well your subject lines are grabbing your audience's attention. And to some extent, it gives you some clues on if you're targeting the right people with the right message. Like any metric, you want to analyze open rates in context. Things vary across industries, the time of year, and even the type of devices your customers are using. So, it's also important to take note of policies like Apple's Mail Privacy Protection or Apple MPP for short. Customers are automatically opted into this policy with an MPP-supported Apple device. Well, basically, incoming emails are downloaded to Apple servers, which can make it look like a recipient opened an email that they didn't. This could falsely inflate your email opens and other related metrics. Depending on your platform, you might be able to exclude open-related metrics that are affected by Apple MPP. We offer this at MailChimp to help our customers get more accurate reporting. If you want to learn more about this, just check out the links in the description. Cool. All right, well, let's now move on to click-through rate. After someone opens an email, you want them to click on a call to action. Whether you want them to learn more about your business or make a purchase, the click-through rate shows the effectiveness of your design and messaging. Maybe you notice people are more likely to click if buttons are placed closer to the main headline. Or you find placing the emphasis on savings instead of quality gets a better response from your customers. But for all that great work to count, your email has to reach the inbox. That's why delivery metrics are so important. If you have to narrow it down, I say it's a good idea to follow bounce and spam complaint rates. A bounce is when an email can't be delivered. It could be because of an invalid email address or a problem with your recipient server. As for spam complaints, these are initiated by your contacts. This could suggest issues with your targeting or messaging. But in any case, high spam complaint rates could lower your sender reputation, which could make it harder to reach the inbox. I know email deliverability can sound a bit intimidating, but we have a video that breaks it down. The last type of metrics I'll cover are related to e-commerce. These are orders, total revenue from a campaign, all the typical things you track in an online store. What I want to point out is the customer lifetime value, or CLV. This is based on data like how long a customer has been with your business, how frequently they purchase, and how much they've spent in total. It's about overall value, not who spent the most on a particular order. Marketers use CLV to help them predict who's likely to bring the most value over time. If you want to ask for referrals or start a loyalty program, targeting customers with the highest CLV, now that might be the way to go. After you set your KPIs, you'll want to figure out what those metrics mean in context. And to do that, you need to dive into your data. To know what your KPIs really mean, you have to measure them against benchmarks. These are standards that help you assess what's normal or out of the ordinary for your business. I say Start by studying your customer data from the past. Think about what happened during those most successful years. And for times that could have been better, what patterns do you notice? Industry data can also inform how you set benchmarks. Keep in mind, benchmarks can vary based on industry, audience, and the quality of an email list. So treat industry data as a starting point to learn more about your marketing. You might notice that your open rates are lower than the industry standard, but that could have little to do with your messaging. Maybe your list just isn't up to date and you have a lot of inactive or invalid email addresses. Make sense? Okay, so on their own, industry benchmarks won't tell you the full story. But when you fill in the blanks with your data and unique industry knowledge, they can help point you in the right direction. If you set your KPIs and analyze historical data, you've done a lot. Take some time to celebrate this because this is a big accomplishment. But to keep getting the most out of your reports, you need to consistently check in. It's helpful to hold review sessions at a regular cadence. For one, you'll catch issues early. Making sure that everyone is still on the same page cuts down on confusion. And you could recognize achievements to boost morale and keep people interested. But for all this to work, it has to be clear who's scheduling and leading these sessions. With so much to keep track of, it's an easy point to forget. Speaking of tracking data, you'll already have a good amount on your plate. So try to automate what you can. If you don't have one already, consider using a marketing and automation platform. You won't have to manually track all of your metrics. And data like clicks, opens, and revenue can be summarized in reports that show email performance over time. You can also get real-time data, so you'll be in a better position to quickly adjust your strategy with confidence. Finally, we know numbers have to tell a story. A reporting tool can help you present your work in a way that's easy to digest, and you won't have to spend a bunch of time creating charts and graphs from scratch. No matter how much of your reporting you automate, it's not a set it and forget it type of process. After all, you'll be the one driving the analysis and taking action. In the end, reporting is more than just looking for actionable insights. It's a way to align the people in your business to work toward the same goal. And it reinforces a culture of constant improvement, something that's really important in how rapidly technology and markets can change. Now, as I promised, here are some questions to keep in mind when you're thinking about your goals and KPIs. Feel free to pause here and take a screen grab. Let us know in the comments how your reporting is going. And if you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel.